bass feel. Joy. Come on, pump it up. Pain. Pump it up now. Sunshine. What else? Come on. Rain. Sing it now, God's children. Joy. Pump it up now. Pain. Keep it going. Sunshine. Yeah. And rain.
Well, hello students. Welcome to Digital Photography Critique number 4, OCs and links logos. OCs are original characters, just in case you didn't know that. And today we are going to make some announcements, go over the Utah State Standards, talk about the Culture Club, critique Project 4, and then you'll complete the final evaluation survey. Remember, we have project deadline Sunday, October 22nd at midnight. You may not submit projects after that deadline. I do not ever make any exceptions. So make sure that you are getting your camera and finishing up your projects if you haven't already. Hopefully you'll finish them by the end of the day and be done. If you're behind, get your head out of the sand. Get some work turned in. It's just been sad. This is something I need to talk about more at the beginning of the class. It never ceases to amaze me when I get a parent who emails me and says, my child can't do this class because they don't have the right kind of camera. What kind of person would lie to their parents and tell them that they don't have the right kind of camera? I just don't get it. You can use any camera in this class. So once again, get your head out of the sand, get to work. All right, plagiarism, as stresses mount, it is tempting to plagiarize. Please don't plagiarize. It's just gross. Don't do it. Projects have to be current. You don't get to go and dig through photos that your brother took or your uncle, pictures from your vacation when you were 5, things like that. No, you've got to actually go out and do the assignments now, where you're at in your life, grow from where you are, express who you are. Read the grade book, please. I put comments in there. Those comments are supposed to be helpful so that you can complete the projects according to the objectives and outcomes needed for you to demonstrate mastery of your photography skills in this class. So please read the comments and refine your work. If you have an IEP, you should probably get a hold of me if you haven't already and discuss that with me. See what we can do. My number is 801-637-9682. There it is again. It was supposed to be programmed into your phone the first day of class, but if you haven't gotten there yet, it's never too late to reach out and get some help from me. And next week is Red Ribbon Week, where we celebrate being drug-free. Woohoo! And we have a poster contest. So be looking for your information on that via email. They'll be sending you a link and all of the information. Don't forget, we have Spooktacular Fall Dance October 27th as well. The winners of the light painting and sunsets critique will be announced next week. If you've not completed critique of Project 3, find it in the Week 8 folder and vote. Follow the directions in the vote survey to critique and defend the work of art you vote for. You may edit your vote. We're going to be going over Utah Visual Arts Standards for Strand 2 Present today. Some of them are level 3. One of them is level 2. Students will analyze, interpret, refine, and select artistic work for presentation. They will convey meaning in the manner in which art is presented. Standard 2. Investigate, compare, and contrast methods for preserving and protecting art. As far as photography goes, I am going to show you some ways of publishing your work, but as far as preserving and protecting it, you guys all just need to get an external hard drive and store your photos on an external hard drive. It's always a rule of thumb to store your photos in at least 2 places. So you have some on an external hard drive and some on a thumb drive. If something happens to one of your devices, you'll have a backup. And then evaluate, select, and apply methods or processes appropriate to display artwork in a specific place. Today I'm going to show you an exhibit. And curate a collection of objects, artifacts, or artwork to affect the viewer's understanding of social, cultural, and or political experiences. I'm going to share one woman's idea of how we can use our artwork to make a statement. So let's do that now.
This is Amy Marispel, and I am presenting the first challenge for the Hit Record project that I'm doing, 100 postcards for love and happiness. And the challenge that I present to you, fellow culture makers, is to come up with images of things that represent love and happiness. And when I say happiness, I mean well-being. Martin Seligman just has an acronym PERMA, P-E-R-M-A, meaning positivity, engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievement. And this is a very well-rounded look at happiness. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about happiness. And when I'm talking about love, I'm talking about loving others as yourself. So self-love and love for those in your immediate world, in your circle of influence, and in your communities. And the goal of these postcards is to have a deck available for when you want to share great things with people who you love or people you admire, or if you want to talk to your leaders about ways that they are not keeping the values that they signed up for, that they agreed to. So I'm looking forward to seeing your illustrations, your photographs, your curated collections of images, maybe from Creative Commons or old historical images that don't have copyrights anymore. Excited to see what we're going to bring up.
Right now, I have an exhibition running here at Brookfield Place in downtown Manhattan. It's a phenomenal space. I've been fortunate enough to have exhibitions all over the world, and I've tried lots of different types of presentations, but what I've really settled on is aluminum prints. All of these images are printed directly on aluminum, and then my signature is etched in there. It's inexpensive, they're lightweight, easy to hang, and they look gorgeous. So much color, so much pop, so much vibrancy. One of the things when you're thinking about an exhibition is how you're going to hang your prints. You're going to want to get everything in there. You might have noticed at Art Expo, I smush stuff in, but when you have an actual show in a gallery, you want to give the prints some room to breathe. A beautiful image like this, give it some space. Don't clutter it up too much. Let people sit and look. Here we have about 15 prints in this huge space. We could have gotten 30 in. Also, another great idea, behind the scenes videos. Have a video screen and give people something to see outside the images themselves. It informs the pictures more, and it just gives them something to do, keeps them in here longer. All of these things are incredibly important, but the most important thing to a good exhibition, having a great looking guy at the front desk. So in a lot of the larger galleries, it comes with a curator. You give them the work, they even select the work out, and then they hang it for you. But in some smaller galleries or alternative spaces, you're going to be in charge of curating the show yourself. And one thing to think about is, how do your images work together? So here at Arts Brookfield, they did all of this, and I think they did it brilliantly, but I want to point out one thing. Look at how these two are so obviously connected, the bottle and the glass, and they're facing away from each other, but then on each side you have the other print facing towards the center. So these three women are walking right here, and then these two are facing this way. So the attention gets brought into the center where these two dynamic pieces are occurring. So I think that starting to look at exhibitions and see how they curate it, see how they keep the white space around the images, the sizing, the different sizes of the prints, and just making sure that each image has its own world to float in. Now this print is on vinyl, and you just can't get images this large on paper or on aluminum. But on vinyl, now you can't resell this. This is stuck to the wall, but wow, does it create an impression. If you have a huge wall you want to fill and you just, I sell this print on aluminum, but I've never seen my work ever this large, and it's pretty incredible. For the photographers out there, I just want you to know, I shot this with a Nikon D3, which is just a 35 millimeter at like ISO of like 800, and it blew up this huge. So this is one way to go inexpensive and really make your work very, very impressive. The images in the windows out front are also on vinyl. So if you can pull your eyes away from the good-looking guy at the front here for a second, I'll show you what else is on the desk. If you have a book, obviously you want to display it. Right here, you have a sign-up sheet so you get everyone's email address, very, very important. And of course, you take away cards for anybody who wants to look more at your work. And this is something I really, really love to do, which is behind-the-scenes stories. And let me show you one example. So each picture is numbered, and then with the number correlates a specific behind-the-scene story about how I got that photo. And there's two things. First of all, it personalizes the image for the people because they can look at it and they can understand what went into creating it. And secondly, it keeps them in the gallery longer, so there's more time for them to absorb your work. For example, under the boardwalk, real-life couple Jacob and Jill came up with this pose in about 3 minutes. It makes me wonder if they actually kissed this way. This shoot was very sentimental for me. I lived in Los Angeles for 7 years as a teenager, and I spent lots of time under similar boardwalks. The way I remember it, my body looked just like Jacob's. So that's a little cheesy. It's short, it's to the point, but it tells you that these dancers created that pose on their own, and it makes it, it emphasizes the spontaneity and the collaboration of the process.
Excellent. So that is some great information about presenting your artwork. And I would actually really like to see you all have an opportunity to present your artwork outside of the classroom. And this is a project that, oh, before I move on to that, sorry. Ooh, I forgot. I wanted to talk to you about Walgreen banners. Insert Walgreen banners ad. For $24.99, you get this awesome 2x6 banner, okay? But let me just show you, they have a variety of them. This banner right here is my favorite banner. This is some of my photography right here. You will take the banner that has like the black background and has the two pictures that you can do with the white. And then what I do is I take my scissors and I just cut it down the middle. And then I have two large photographs. And then I just take the sticky tack and put sticky tack on the back of it and put it on the wall, and it looks fantastic. It's already framed. It's awesome. It's a flat matte paper, so it doesn't have a glare. And I tell you guys, some of your photography is phenomenal. For $24.99, you get two large prints. That's $12.50 for a large poster of your work. Phenomenal price. Head down to Walgreens, get some posters made for your family members for Christmas. Just remember to put a little bit of sticky tack in the gift. Wouldn't that be fun? But like I was saying, I'd really like you guys have an opportunity to exhibit your work in other places. So I've been dreaming up this culture club now for the last couple of years here, and I think it's time to get it going. I could call it the art club, but I kind of like the idea of the culture club, as in that first video the gal said, I can't wait to see your work, you culture makers, because that's what we do when we create art. We're creating culture. We have a direct impact on the culture around us through our visual artwork and through music. You guys know how powerful music is, but all of this is part of our culture club. So I'm looking for students who have a vision, a purpose, who are interested in developing some community projects, are interested in applying for scholarship opportunities, applying for exhibition calls, on scoping out local exhibits and events in your area and sharing that information with students so we can start to have a greater sense of artistic and cultural community here at our school with our student body. I need a leadership team. So if you're interested, please email me. Hart is my maiden name, so rhart@utahvirtual.org. Shoot me an email if you're interested. Let's get on with our critique. What a critique is not. A critique is not value words like ugly or pretty and whether you like it or don't like it. You know that by now, right? A critique is a four-step critical thinking process. All right, so I don't know that this slide here necessarily chimes in with digital photography because unfortunately I was in a rush today, but we know that description telling me about the medium, the subject matter. For that last exhibit, the subject matter would have been dancers, right? And what were those compositions like? Some of them were centered. They were very dynamic, a lot of diagonal lines and things like that. So that's composition. The medium obviously is photography. And you could even go so far as to say photography on aluminum or photography printed on vinyl, photography printed on Walgreens border, poster paper, analysis. So thinking about analyzing it, what elements and principles of art are you using? Is it black and white? Is it color? Things like that. Interpretation. And that's a big one. With photography, you definitely want to have some type of interpretation in your artwork. You don't want it to just be, oh, here's a picture of a shoe. Like this last project that we just did is an amazing project for interpretation, because adding that extra pop of color on a black and white background, or creating that juxtaposition where you meld together two photographs in a cool and exciting and unexpected way, that creates a lot of room for the viewer to immerse themselves in your work and think about it and reflect. That's what you want. That's art. Evaluation, just your success. How successful were you at fulfilling your own vision? Did you have any challenges? What would you do different next time? That type of thing. So let's go ahead and start our critique of Project 4. Keep track of your favorites. You are going to vote. You're going to complete the final evaluation survey for me, and you're going to get to tell me a little bit about what you thought of the class and maybe give me some ideas of how I can improve it in the future for other students. So are you ready? Get set, critique.
This is good.
Excellent, students. So where do you find that final evaluation survey? You're going to go into your digital photo class, click on your content. Excellent. So go to the table of contents, scroll down to week 9, and you'll notice it says critique 4 and final evaluation survey. Click that folder and then click on the subfolder for the critique. And it says watch the video critique of project 4. You're doing that now, right? And complete the final evaluation survey. It's right here. It also says to complete projects 1 through 4 and you're done. No final. Get them done, guys. Get them done by the end of the day so you can enjoy your fall break. And then you don't even have to come back next week to this class. You'll be done. All right. Otherwise, deadline October 22nd, right?